You like lasagna? You like lasagna? Let's make some soup with this stuff. Let's make some lasagna soup. And it's for a meal prep. Welcome back. I'm Dave Garrett, This Vet Cooks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and thank you in general. So today, as it says down below, what are we doing? We're doing a meal prep, and we're doing this easy lasagna soup. Easy lasagna soup. Now folks, the recipe, and this is why it's important to read your recipes all the way through. There's a couple of inconsistencies, and it could just be that whoever wrote the recipe used what they had on hand. So keep an eye on your recipe. Always review your recipe before you start chopping, start cutting, start cooking, start anything. Review the recipe. I know some of us, don't want to review the recipe. I'll wing it. I get it. But in some cases, it's a necessary evil, and this is the case. So with that being said, let's break down the ingredients for the easy lasagna soup, which will be meal prep for lunches all this coming week. Alrighty, let's start our ingredient list. The first thing we need is 1 pound of ground mild Italian sausage. Now, we've got this Johnsonville, and that's fine, and it was on sale, so that makes it even better. So we're going to take it out of the casing, and then we're going to cook that up. Also, next, 1/2 yellow onion diced into large cubes. Well, today we're out of yellow onions, and we've got this white one. We're going to do that. 1 carrot peeled and sliced and diced into small pieces. I'm using 2 medium-sized carrots. Ready? Let's see. 2 cloves of minced garlic, fresh garlic, or 2 tablespoons minced garlic in a jar. Well, guess what we're doing? That's right, minced garlic in a jar. Alrighty, 16 ounces of low-sodium chicken broth, 1/2 teaspoon of dried Italian seasoning. There's the Italian seasoning, and again, 1/2 teaspoon. Let's see, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Sorry, black pepper in the black pepper grinder. Alrighty, let's see what's next. Okay, 1 can, 14.5 ounce stewed tomatoes. Stewed tomatoes. Now, we're going to dice these a little bit later on, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, next. Now, here's where it gets a little weird, a little funky. It says 1/2 can of, and that's the thing, we're not too sure. Is it 1/2 can of 15 ounce, which is 15 ounces, from a 30 ounce tomato sauce jar, or is it a 15 ounce and 1/2 ounce, or 1/2 can, which is then this 8 ounce, or do we need the full 16 ounces, which is one more than 15 ounces, but we're going to play it by ear. We're going to do this one first, and if it turns out that we actually need it, we have the other one on standby. So again, be prepared, but that's why you read your recipe. All right, let's continue with the ingredients. 3 lasagna noodles broken into 1-inch pieces. That's going to be fun. We're going to break these up here in just a bit. 1 cup fresh spinach chopped. There it is in a bag. 1/2 cup cubed, low moisture, part skim mozzarella cheese. The Moz. There it is. We're going to cube it. And that's part of the serving. We're going to put these cubes in the bowl, and then we put the soup on top of that. It's going to be delicious. Righty, what else? Chopped fresh basil for topping and or garnish. That's it. That's all the ingredients. There we go. And we're going to use some Parmesan also on top of that. So we've got that also. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tasty. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be awesome. And it's for lunch all this week. Meal prep. All right. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is brown the Italian sausage. All right, so we got our pot here, and we're going to go ahead and cook our sausage, the Italian sausage. But what we're going to do is we're going to get it out of the casing. Don't want the casing. Yeah, I got to be careful. It doesn't tear. I mean, it's no problem if it goes in. It's edible. That's cellulose. Yeah, so it's edible, but still, you don't want that casing just popping up in your soup. There we go. Now another thing you can do is split it. Just don't cut yourself, but once it's split open, it's pretty easy to go ahead and take everything out. There we go. Now, can you use ground beef? Yes, you can. Can you use maybe broth? Yeah, you could if you want to, but you don't forget that broths have a different flavor to it. But hey, of course. So hamburger meat, ground beef, by all means. Italian sausage already has all those spices in there, good to go. And yes, I know we're augmenting with some dried Italian seasoning, but doesn't hurt. Already have the seasoning in the meat. Alright, here's the last one again, Johnsonville. That's the brand that we use here. It's a little readily available, but in your neck of the woods, you know which Italian sausage. And of course, you know, you go to Butcher and they make their own Italian sausage. By all means, give it a shot. Now we're going to let this cook, and we're going to remove it once it's cooked. Once all the pink is gone, we're going to remove the meat, and we're going to leave the juices there, and then we're going to throw in the onions and the carrots and let them cook up. Add the garlic again in the juices. That way, those spices and that Italian sausage flavor is imparted in and brought into the veggies. This won't take very long. Alright, so there it is. The meat has, well, it's cooked. The pink is gone. So now we're going to take it out with a slotted spoon. We're going to put it on a plate, and we're going to hold it there until the onions and carrots are cooked. Alright, so the meat's out here. That's what's left. Here are the carrots and onions. Go ahead and get those in there. Now, I did turn the temperature down as I was removing stuff because whatever was there, we didn't want it to start burning. You know, little remains. They're going to be remains. Okay, you don't have to get it all out, but what we do want is those juices to stay there. That way they kind of make the onions and carrots all outstanding. Alright, we're going to do these for about 5 minutes. Give them a stir every once in a while, get them ready. And again, if you notice in the recipe, and you can look down below, there's no salt. That sausage's got plenty of it. Right? And then the broth, even though it's low sodium, it will have some. What else? Your spices, again, will be good. But for the most part, it really doesn't need anything. When we do it, we're going to add pepper, but no salt. Fun fact, did you know that Roman soldiers were paid? Yeah, they were paid. They weren't just conscripted. They were actually paid. They were paid with salt. And that's where the word salary comes from. I just learned that today. So now you know if you didn't know before, but that's where the word salary comes from, S-A-L, sal. That's the Latin word for salt and Spanish word for salt, and it's salary, so that's where that comes from. Salt awry, there we go. Yeah, but wars have been fought over salt. Lands have been conquested over salt, and we're not using it today. Alright, we'll let that sit here for a little bit. I'll come back and stir it in just a bit. Alright, so the veggies now, the carrots and the onions have cooked for about 4.5 minutes. Now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the minced garlic. Oh, that jar's smelling great. Alright, now this is a half teaspoon because it says so, half teaspoon. We're going to do 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alrighty, now we're going to cook this for an additional minute, but we got to stir. Oh, it smells great. Now after the minute's done, what we're going to do is throw in the meat. Then we're going to throw in the 2 cups of broth, the 8 ounces of the tomato sauce, and we're going to let that all do its magic here. I think it's time for another visit to our HEB to pick up a new Spice World minced garlic container. Wow, this has really lasted a while, but it's been very good, very tasty. Alrighty, now the time has come to add the meat and all the juices and everything back to it. There we go. Well, that looks delicious all in itself, right? That looks good. Okay, now it's time to add our, using a pint glass, and I know it's short of a full pint, but I will augment here in just a minute, the chicken broth. There we go. And the first 8-ounce container of tomato sauce. All right, also, now is the time to add the additional seasoning and the pepper. You know what I should have done? Yeah. But I know what I'll do. Remember I said I had to augment? There we go. There we go. Alrighty, that looks great. Another stir. Let that sit there for just a minute while we get the spices. Alrighty, time to add our HEB Italian seasoning, and it does say like half a teaspoon, so we'll give it a little. You know what? That doesn't work. Sometimes you got to go all in. Hey, ooh, that's a little extra, but hey, sometimes a little extra is good. Alrighty, now our pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Let's get a little light. Just picked this up at our local local grocery store, and it's 4 AA's. It's really nice, and came as a set. Really quick, really easy. That's it. And that was the pepper. I'll show you the salt. There it is. There's the salt bullet right there, and then a little button there to. Let's see if we can. Look at that. Really nice, really quick. Okay, what do we do with salt? That's right. A little bit doesn't hurt. Okay, so get that in here. Now we're going to let this sit. Because it's time, we're letting it sit now because it's time for the stewed tomatoes. Now we're going to have to chop them up a little bit, so no big deal. I'm going to put them in a bowl and use our chopper, and we'll chop them. It does say use an immersion blender or food processor, but if you don't have one, what do you got? Well, you can always throw them on a plate and just chop them up, right? Or in a little bowl, and if you got one of these cool little chopper things, right? This is, it says Alaska. It came from Alaska, but we're not chopping up salmon. If anything, we'll be cutting up salmon. But in-laws, from the last time they went to Alaska, brought this for the show. So again, kudos to them. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and chop up some stewed tomatoes. And again, it's from our local HEB. They are in the 14.5 ounce variety. So there we go. We'll open these up, chop them up, and then you'll see them in just a second. And there it is. They're all chopped up. Yeah, some bigger pieces, but hey, that's fine. is all about. Now you may be asking yourself, David, if this is a lasagna soup, where's the lasagna? Well, it's coming up. We're going to cook this here for about 40 minutes, let it all do its thing, and again, I might just augment it with a little bit more broth, but we're going to let it do its thing. I've got the temperature down between medium and medium-low, so on the medium side of medium-low. So that's where it's at. And we're going to go ahead. Of course, we'll give it a little tasty taste because, hey, we haven't done that yet. Remember, taste your work. That's the nice thing of cooking. You get to taste your work as you go along. I think it's on point. I think we're good, but we'll see what it does when it reduces here in 40 minutes. This is after the first 40 minutes, and it looks good. You can really see it now. Nice and red. However, as you can tell, it has gone down, and about an inch of liquid is left, is evaporated. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to augment this. First, because we're going to augment this with the remaining 2 cups of chicken broth, we're going to add some more spices. Oh yeah, there we go. And we're going to do the other 8 ounces of tomato sauce. But that's not all. We're going to finish the recipe. And I did it again. But I think I can get away with it this time. Go. Get all that extra stuff off the sides. There we go. Alrighty, so there's that. Now, a little extra pepper. Whoa! There we go, a little splatter too doesn't hurt. Because hey, if you're doing splatter something, are you really cooking? Are you really making a soup? Alrighty. With that being said, let's continue. Alright, now we're going to finish the recipe. These are lasagna noodles, right? And we got 3 of these, and we broke them up into about 1 inch, pieces. And it's time to put them in. There's your lasagna. And the 1 cup of chopped fresh spinach. There it is. Get all the spinach all nice and neat in there. All right. 20 more minutes under the lid, low simmer, and we'll start wrapping up the show. We'll plate it, give it a tasty taste, and then we'll pack it up for meals this week. And what I'm using is these new, we just got these Lock and Locks, these bowls. If you're familiar with the Lock and Lock brand, they're very good. They come in square, rectangular, circle, but now, or bowls, but now we have the soup bowls, so pretty cool. And so we'll be packing these up here for lunches all this week. Alrighty, all right, they've got some other stuff to do. Let's start wrapping this show up. So I want to take this time again. It's that time in the episode where I want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and your comments. I do appreciate your comments. They really contribute to the show. And again, thank you. And just a heads up. be advised, I do, as you comment, I'll go back, I'll like it, I'll add my comments. Again, thank you very much for watching, and again for commenting. And I'm going to go back and check you out. I'm going to check you out. So if you're generating videos, I'm going to follow you back. So let you know, just a heads up. So start making some videos. If you're not making videos yet, please get some videos out there. Again, everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got something to say. You've got a story to tell. You've got something to say. So why not say it? So again, thanks again. Alrighty, veterans, you know the deal. It's all over here. That's right, the veteranscrisisline.net, the website. Visit the website. Again, loaded with resources, loaded with information, and again, how you can get in contact with them if you find yourself in a situation or you're finding yourself traveling down that dark road again. And folks, nobody travels alone. Not in this day and age. So again, make the call. That's really what it's about. It's just making the call. Get out there, talk to someone. They'll help. They'll put you in the right direction. Don't you worry about that. I know there have been stories about bad, but again, those are they're getting singled out. They're getting identified. They're getting addressed. So that's a good thing. They're working within. So with that being said, don't hesitate. Make the call. Reach out. That's what they're there for. They're there for you. At veteranscrisisline.net. 988. You can dial 988 when you dial. The automated tenant answers. Press the 1 for veterans. Let's see. You go to the website and you can chat with them there, or you can also text. It's a little text thing. Get your phone. You know what I'm talking about. Just hit send. Okay, reach out to them. But again, when you're doing that, when you're chatting or you're texting, you're going to have to peel back some layers and share a little bit more information. I understand. Sometimes, we get to be hard-headed veterans because, hey, we know best, and we do. We really do. Don't let anybody tell you different. But in some cases, it might be we're overwhelmed. It's a little dark, not too sure what to do. Remember, you got to take care of yourself first, especially if you're like looking out for others and you're saying, well, I got to take care of my family. That's right, but you got to take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, what good are you? Exactly. That's why you've got to put yourself on top. Make yourself a priority. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's the way it is. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And again, from one veteran to another, I learned the hard way, but sometimes that's the only way we need to learn. So again, make the call. Make the call. And again, thanks again, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you. Appreciate your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. Let me, hey, down below in the comments, let me know if you've made something like this, or if you would change something. What would you change? Again, it's up to you. If you don't like spinach, you'd rather put broccoli in it, you know what? That works too. That works too. So either way, and also let me know if you've made any of the other recipes. I had a comment the other day about the red beans and rice with the Vienna sausage. I know, I never thought about it too until I saw the recipe, and I was like, you know what? That's going to work, and it was tasty. So if you've made that with the Vienna sausages, let me know. Let me know how it turned out for you. And of course, this episode, again, we're making meal prepping for the week. So this should be good. But if it's for the family, Sunday night dinner, outstanding. Hey, look who made it, right? You made it. So with that being said, hey, let's start wrapping this show up. Let's go ahead and put this in a bowl, and let's give it a tasty taste. And let's see what this is all about. Oh, and hey, we got to cube up some mozzarella. That's right. So that's going to go down at the bottom of the bowl. All right, so let's get to that. All right, there it is. There's the soup. There's the easy lasagna soup. It's time for a tasty taste. Let's see, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, and about 15 minutes, so about an hour and a quarter prep to cooking, to completely cooking. Give it a couple of minutes to cool down because you don't want to dive right in. But again, real easy, real quick, and in this case it's a meal prep. There we go, trying to fix this because it wasn't straight. It's a meal prep, lunches for this week, and again, Italian sausage, onions, carrots, spinach, tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes, and then some Italian seasonings and a little bit of everything, pepper. No salt was added to what's already in the ingredients. So let's give it a tasty taste. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the stuff right there. Italian sausage still has its flavor. The soup part of it, outstanding. Oh, the chicken broth too. outstanding, very delicious, very tasty. This is going to sit well. It's going to be great. Lasagna. Mozzarella at the bottom, and yeah, we could have sprinkled some Parmesan on top, or whatever else you want to sprinkle on top of that, but it's up to you. Serve it with a salad, a little side salad. If it's a main meal, a little garlic bread doesn't hurt. A little side salad on the side. Excellent meal again. But in this case, it's for lunch, so it's going to be quick, easy. It's going to be in the bowl, so it's going to be ready to go. Just pop it in the microwave, heat it up, and you got yourself an outstanding, very tasty, very quick, easy to make lunch for the rest of the week. Folks, I'm going to go finish my lunch. I'm Dave Guerra, and This Vet Cooks.